Note to all writers out there, if you're going to reuse somebody else's ideas, please have a new take on it. Okay, over the past week, we learned quite a bit about simp characters, particularly one Kazuya Kitoshita in the 380th chapter of Rent-A-Girlfriend spent almost 250 grand on trying to impress Chizuru, only to basically be turned down. This, of course, leads to our simp character, Jerry Smith. My problem with Jerry is the fact he never seems to grow. Like, literally, he just regresses as a character. You're thinking about the rest of the cast, they've at least shown some bit of progress. Jerry just seems to be regressed because he's basically been flanderized. Okay, so this episode begins with Jerry getting ready for Easter, basically making paper cutouts of Easter bunnies, Easter eggs. This was shown in the promo for Rick and Morty. So yeah, here we go, doing an Easter episode. Well, what's it going to be about? It's going to be about Dan Brown and the Easter Bunny? Because, I mean, we haven't done that since South Park. Yeah, South Park did a better version of this whole story, especially bringing in the Da Vinci Code references. They bring up the fact that not a lot of people care about Easter, which is weird because no one's talked about Da Vinci Code in almost 20 years. They brought up the fact that the only reason why Jerry remembers Easter is because of the aisle in Costco, which is weird. They kind of give up sometime around March. So anyway, what did we learn? Jerry runs over the Easter Bunny, killing him. The Easter Bunny's an alien. And oh yeah, Jerry becomes the Easter Bunny. You know, like the Santa Claus. We also learned that the Germans generally have a different take on the Easter Bunny. When they try piecing together everything, they found out that the Easter Bunny comes from a land called Andromeda. You know, the galaxy that's much larger than the Milky Way. And will one day eat the Milky Way. Now, they decided to have a little joke where Morty constantly messes up this pronunciation of Andromeda. It worked as well as this guy's joke. Now, I think I should tell you, there's another little gag out there. They start discussing when the date is, and then start saying, does anyone have their calendar app open? The problem is right behind them is an actual calendar. You know, all you have to do is look behind you, Rick. You know, you are supposed to be the smartest person in this galaxy, right? But I digress. And of course, we find out that the Illuminati are also aliens. So we end up going to another planet in Andromeda, and basically they decide to rip off Prometheus for some reason. However, their butts are on the wrong side of their body. I'm sorry, I don't get the joke here. It was actually done better in Spaceballs, believe it or not. By the way, Spaceballs 2 will be coming out in 2 years. At least that'll make me a happy camper, because this episode certainly doesn't make me one. Now, of course, before they could piece everything together, they find out that Illuminati aliens are, for all intents and purposes, not in league with the ass on the wrong side of their body aliens, who are apparently creating Easter eggs that are full of these demonic Easter bunnies. And, oh, let's add more to the joke. Oh yeah, when Rick and Morty finally escape, they come out of something that looks like a butt, and everything is chocolate. Hershey Highway joke! Yay! Anyway, back on Earth, Jerry starts turning into a killer bunny. Because after all, I mean, no one's ever done that before. Now, there is one tiny funny moment that kind of got me here, was when Jerry came out of his prison and he's extremely muscled. And Beth immediately says, am I this shallow? Okay, that one actually was funny, which I can't say for most of this episode, because it's just basically recycling old jokes. Now, of course, for some reason, Jerry loses his teeth. I mean, after all, bunnies don't have teeth, right? Right? He ends up going to a biker bar and then makes them all have sex because apparently he has major pheromonal powers. Apparently the Easter Bunny can cause major pheromonal powers, causing mass mating and thus overpopulation. Also, the Easter Island statues are rocket ships. Sorry, the Easter Island statues should remain in the Eastern Kingdom of Super Mario Land from the Game Boy. Anyway, we find out that the leader of the Illuminati aliens' name is Reinhard. You knew I was going to show that picture, face the facts. But unlike Reinhard, yeah, here's another simp. Apparently their species hates sex. How they reproduce? You really think they're going to make an explanation here? You're out of your mind. They all make it back to Rick's garage, where Beth somehow is able to capture Jerry, and they're able to make a gun using the Easter egg, basically sucking out the powers. However, one of the Prometheus aliens with the butt on the wrong side decides to attack him, which makes you wonder, what is the motives of these things? I mean, it's almost confusing as the motives of the Prometheus aliens. Is this supposed to be some type of commentary? And of course, everybody has a turn and turning into the killer rabbit, including Beth, Morty, and yes, the alien. The only character who should ever be turned to a bunny, Yoon, is not in this episode. What a pity. And Reinhard decides to zap the alien, which somehow kills him. I don't understand this either. Since, Rick, Morty, Beth, and Jerry are able to survive it, why can't the alien? In the after-credits scene, Reinhard heads back to his planet. Comes back to his wife and pretty much gets the same result as Kazuya when he asks Chizuru on a date. Oh, and my favorite part is that they completely forget, and we also forgot, the fact that Summer Smith went on spring break. For some reason, spring break just never ended. Yeah, I think the explanation is parents supposed to pick him up at spring break. This is news to anybody who's ever been on spring break. Also, Summer is in high school. Why is she on spring break? This is one of the worst episodes of Rick and Morty. Better as in the fact it's not the return of Wonder T. I was not very happy watching this. Oh, my favorite part is they decide to take the big wall of sex that appeared in the Go Back episodes of South Park. Or at least that one was funny because they were trying to create a big wall of gay sex to prevent the future from happening, which is the other problem with this episode. It's just that we go from point A to point B, no logic or reason. No cause or effect. This is obviously one of the weaker episodes of the 4 episodes we've seen so far. It should be noted, this is the 4th holiday episode of Rick and Morty. I guess now we're saying screw the holidays. By the way, I think I should tell you, the Snake episode is a holiday episode. Kind of late to actually state this. Anyway, I'm going to end our telecast. Thank you for watching. Until next week, bye.